This is Pet Week, and we've come along to New Era Veterinary Hospital to have a chat with Peter Howarth about keeping your pet safe and seen this winter. With the darker evenings, there are a few things to bear in mind if you're a pet owner. Some you might not have known before too.
Lots of things that you can do to, it's obviously very important to be safe both for yourself and for your animal. Not only obviously can you wear fluorescent jackets, etc., but nowadays there's lots of things that come for dogs which are equally good to be seen in the dark. Reflective collars that will reflect car headlights, the little flashing baubles that you can get that will hang from their necks, which can be very good for locating them on the beach, because obviously as it gets dark so quickly they still want to go for a walk. They have much better night vision than we have, so they can see where they are. It's kind of useful to also know where they are as they're charging around all over the place, because they'll still see the birds, they'll still head off after them, and so light so that you can locate where they are is obviously very, very useful. Cats, it's really important to get them in a little bit earlier. Most road traffic accidents unfortunately happen in the hours of darkness. Cats are still on their summer schedule of trying to stay out later until the weather gets awful, at which point obviously it's important to try and get them in that little bit earlier as it does start to get dark. Again, reflective collars can be got for them. They're not obviously appropriate for wearing a flashing bauble, but as I say, you can buy them reflective collars so that they're in hopefully before, if there's any parties, fireworks night, New Year and fireworks are going off. Again, it's a good idea to get everyone in before the hours of darkness, so that they don't get scared and go crossing roads they wouldn't normally cross. If your dog is scared of fireworks, there are, or loud noises, thunderstorms, there are now lots and lots of good medicines that can be got from your veterinary surgeon, which will help keep them nice and calm. When you're in the house, you can build them a little den so that they can hide in it and feel safe. You can reassure them, but the more fuss that you make over them, the more they will actually think that there is reason to be scared. So it's partly trying to reassure but partly ignore them, giving them somewhere where they can hide and feel safe. If you find an injured cat or dog on the side of the road, obviously the first thing to do is to just cover the animal, make sure that they stay warm. It's important not to trying to go too close to their mouths. If they're in pain, they will bite anything around, and it's important to make sure you yourself don't get bitten. The animal shelter have an ambulance driver who's on call 24/7 who will help come out, pick them up, or contact the nearest veterinary surgery and get them straight down to either the veterinary hospital or the local veterinarian, who can then carry on and start giving life-saving treatment.
It's not just us that think you should be safe and be seen. We thought we'd ask Sid if you should be safe and be seen too.
Please.
Yeah!
Ilana from Fun for Dogs said she'd be happy to give us a few tips for dog walkers who are out and about on the roads or even near traffic with darker evenings upon us. You may not have realised, but dogs can see a lot better than we can in the evenings, and although you might not be able to see them, they can definitely see what they're doing.
My name's Alana McLaughlin. I'm from Fun for Dogs Pet Dog Training, and this is Teddy, and we've come to talk to you about walking your dogs in the dark for Be Safe, Be Seen week. So a couple of pointers for walking your dogs out in the dark. As the nights are getting darker, it's an idea to get up an hour earlier in the morning so that we can make the most of the daylight and have our long walk in the morning. Good boy. Good. You can do several short walks through the day to keep your dog stimulated and also keep their fitness up for more vigorous exercise at the weekend. Make sure you wear fluorescent clothing so that you can be seen in the dark. So Teddy's wearing a jacket, which you can buy from any pet shop, and flashing collars and accessories and reflective leads are also an idea for you to have. Good boy, well done. Okay. Carry a torch. Make sure that you take your mobile phone when you're out and about, and it's a good idea to let someone know where you're going to be. Use a short lead and make sure that you keep your dog close and on the inside, walking on the pavement where possible. If you can't walk on the pavement, walk towards the traffic and keep your dog on the inside and close to away from the traffic. Don't use flexi leads. These are difficult to be seen. They can cause a hazard to other walkers and drivers. And if your dog's away from you on the end of the lead, they can be hard to recoil and bring them back into safety.
It's not just the small animals that are seen on our roads. Horses and their riders are also out and about in Jersey, and Julie Settle has told me that I can pop up while she gets ready for a ride with their horse to show me how riders can make themselves seen and how other road users can help them when passing.
Okay, well, it's really important to have some large high-vis on your horse when you're out riding, because once it starts getting dusk at 4:30, cars are driving around really quickly, so it's really important that the horse on his front end, his back end, and also you as the rider have some high vis. On all of the high vis, it's all got a strip like this, so in the car headlights it's really, really bright. So if you're driving down through the valley, you're going to see this really clearly. It's also really important to have some high vis boots or bandages on your horse, so that again the drivers can really clearly see. There's a huge range of varying boots. These are just small wraps, but again you can see the high-vis strap round each one of them. Obviously, as the rider, it's really important to have that you have high-vis vests. Obviously, it's a nice day at the moment, but come 4:30, there are high-vis jackets, body warmers, also a range of stuff you can buy for yourself. And if you're actually riding in the dark, you can get headlamps to put on your hat. You can have flashing armbands. So the more high-vis stuff you can put on you and the horse, really, the sooner that cars are going to see you, because the last thing you want when they come round a corner is to see. Around my hat, I've got this band as well that's got the high-vis bands on it. So when I'm out, there's no way that a car is not going to see me. I mean, there are lots of things on the market that you can put high-vis straps on the bridle, on the front of the horse, on the martingale, so any car coming towards you can clearly see. But I think if you as the rider, it's really crucial that you as the rider have some high vis on, because whichever way the cars are coming, then they can see you. It's nice and sunny now, but in half an hour's time it could very easily be a lot darker, and especially if you're going down into the shadow, down in the valley, or on a lot of the narrow lanes. You need to make sure that you've got some gear. Even if you think it's lovely and sunny, just put it on, because it weighs nothing, it's really easy to wear, and you're better to be safe.
Be safe, be seen on Channel 103 with IFM Group. Professionals you can trust.